Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you stopping by to watch my videos. So today I want to talk about the 5 people affiliated with the white nationalist Nazi hate group Patriot Front who are suing a Seattle man who they say infiltrated the group and disclosed their identities online. Because of him, they say, they lost their jobs and people are harassing them. People are harassing them. The lawsuit was filed in U.S. District Court for Western Washington, and it accuses David Capito of using a false name in July 2021 to convince Patriot Front to accept him as a member. That is their apparently only vetting process. Hey, what's your name? Okay, you're a member. Capito took pictures at their meetings, he surreptitiously recorded their license plate numbers, and he used hidden microphones to record conversations, according to the lawsuit. The suit also accuses Capito of using another group to hack into online chat rooms, further exposing members' appalling views as well as their illegal behavior. Some of the plaintiffs in this case were among 31 Patriot Front members arrested in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho last June and charged with planning to riot at the Pride event there. They made national headlines when they were found stuffed into the back of a U-Haul and removed by the police. They will normally come from all over the country and park in a staging parking lot and then load all of the Nazis into the back of U-Haul trucks and drive them to the event from there. That's not legal, by the way. But they were all charged, and 5 of them have already been convicted of misdemeanor conspiracy to riot and sentenced to several days in jail, as well as $1,000 fines. All of their trials should be wrapped up by this coming October. But anyway, according to the lawsuit, Paul Gankars of Virginia, Daniel Turecci of Pennsylvania, James Johnson and his wife Amelia of Washington, and Colton Brown, also of Washington, and the chapter leader for Patriot Front. They say they lost their jobs. One got kicked out of his dad's house. They got doxxed. They had tires slashed, and they suffered horrible embarrassment when all of their friends and family found out they were Nazis. All because of Mr. Capito. No, it wasn't as the result of their criminal activity, noxious ideas, and plans to overthrow the country and turn it into something that resembled the motherland of the 30s. Perish the thought. The complaint says it seeks to vindicate the rule of law and basic principles of free expression for persons who espouse unpopular opinions. The lawsuit says that Capito's actions would be highly offensive to any reasonable person who held an unusual or unpopular opinion. I object, Your Honor. If, like Patriot Front, you believe that Jewish people should be exterminated, you do not fit into the category of reasonable person. That ship has sailed. You are not on it. Anyway, the lawsuit is contending that the group's ideas have been often misrepresented or distorted by us in the general public and also the mainstream media. Thanks to Mr. Capito, you can determine for yourself whether Patriot Front has been misrepresented. A tiny bit of what he was able to gather made it into this Unicorn Riot video.
Damn, son, that might be a cut.
That's a good take right there.
Sieg fucking high. Let's fucking go. I can say that now that it's over.
Oh, it seems like they're the ones misrepresenting their core ideology to the public. They're pretending to be a simple and innocent, law-abiding white nationalist group. They're in fact, and indeed, Nazis, hiding that fact from the public in order to gain popularity. They're defacing public murals, harassing, stalking, intimidating, and in some cases, beating up minorities, and in one case, killing a counter-protester and injuring dozens of others. And, you know, if you want to safeguard against doxing, you should stop breaking the law. I mean, there's no more effective doxing than a mugshot, right? They've got myriad charges of vandalism, conspiring to riot, murder, intimidation, bullying. The lawsuit's seeking unspecified economic and punitive damages from Capito in an order barring him from using the Patriot Front members' personal information. That cat is out of the bag. Hello. The federal complaint on behalf of the Patriot Front plaintiffs was filed by Christopher Hogue, a Spokane attorney, and Glenn Allen, an attorney from Baltimore, who says that he's not talking to the press because experience has taught him to be wary of talking to journalists. It turns out that his own noxious opinions got him into hot water in the past. He was fired in 2016 from his post as a contract lawyer with the city of Baltimore after the Southern Poverty Law Center highlighted him on their Hate Watch blog, reporting that he had been not only a dues-paying member of the National Alliance, but that he had acted in some cases as an attorney for them. This neo-Nazi group that had called for the eradication of Jews and other races and the establishment of an all-white homeland. Allen told the Baltimore Sun at the time that the blog had exaggerated his connection to the group. He barely knew them. He insisted that he disagreed with them on several things, and he had stopped giving them money. He still got fired. He later sued the SPLC for defamation, but the case was dismissed by a federal judge, and then it was also dismissed on appeal. Since then, Allen has founded a nonprofit for Nazis called the Free Expression Foundation, which says it's fighting an identity crisis in Western culture. The group describes itself as providing moral, legal, and financial support to people who have been harmed by arrogant and overreaching thought police. He said the nonprofit will subsidize the Patriot Front's lawsuit and that he would likely be lead counsel in this case. The Patriot Front lawsuit lays out the group's racist ideology and describing its collective objective. Reforge our people born to this nation of our European race as a new collective capable of asserting our right to cultural independence. I don't know what that's doing in a lawsuit, but it describes the group's actions as provocative but nonviolent. Heather Heyer would beg to differ if she hadn't been murdered by one of them. Artist Charles Murrell III would beg to differ if he were talking. He's wisely letting his lawyers and his lawsuit talk for him. He's suing Patriot Front for beating him up, causing him physical as well as emotional damage. The lawsuit filed in the United States District Court in Boston alleges that Patriot Front conspired to interfere with Murrell's civil rights in violation of the Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871 and the Massachusetts Civil Rights Act, as well as other related state law. The law has prohibited racially motivated violence for more than 150 years, and his complaint will use that law to its full extent to hold Patriot Front accountable for its conduct. So Patriot Front was formed in the wake of the deadly Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville as an offshoot of the neo-fascist organization Vanguard America. James Fields, the man convicted of murdering Heather Heyer and intentionally running down other counter-protesters, was a member of Vanguard and marched with them prior to his killing spree. Before the Unite the Right rally, Thomas Rousseau was the Texas leader of Vanguard, and Dylan Hopper was the group's national leader. But in late 2017, they had a rally on the steps of the Capitol building in Austin, Texas. Hopper was deeply offended that Rousseau seemed to be trying to hog all the attention. That was the day the bromance ended, caused by jealousy of two miscreants who both aspired to mediocrity without either one of them having a roadmap that would get them there. That was the day a hostile takeover by Rousseau began. In fact, when Rousseau formed Patriot Front, he did it through a deceitfully forced digital hacking coup d'etat, taking not only his loyal supporters with him, but also assuming complete control over Vanguard, America's Southern Front Discord, as well as Vanguard America's website. Rousseau made the announcement of the takeover less than 3 weeks after Unite the Right on the Southern Front Discord server that he had hacked. And though Rousseau led the Unite the Right contingent, it was Hopper who faced all the heat in the rally's aftermath, as event images showed James Field plowing his car into a group of counter-protesters and killing Heyer. Fields participated in the event, standing shoulder to shoulder with Vanguard America and Rousseau, and carrying a shield bearing the group's fascist symbol. Hopper, of course, he isolated himself from the fallout from Unite the Right, but Rousseau seized the moment. He rebranded Vanguard as the Patriot Front, which allowed those associated with Patriot Front to distance themselves from both Vanguard America and any association with James Fields, even though they were the same people, connected to the same crime. And in the years since, Patriot Front has become one of the most active white supremacist groups in the country, spreading propaganda against people of color, immigrants, women, Jews, while advocating for a white ethno-state. And Thomas Rousseau, the new Grand Poobah of Patriot Front, the paranoid, demanding, and self-avowed fascist, pining to create a white ethno-state, runs it all from a command center in his bedroom at his dad's house in Grapevine, Texas. And he makes most of his money off the suckers in his organization by running a bit of a pyramid scheme. Now, as a rule, I am against doxing, but this lawsuit is chugging along on irony fumes. The Patriot Front is suing a guy for doxing them, when doxing is their #1 weapon of intimidation. Why, as soon as they were peeled out of the back of that U-Haul in Coeur d'Alene, they started doxing the police officers who arrested and processed them. They went online to ask for help in identifying the officers, their addresses, phone numbers, spouses, any information they could get hold of. They were doxing out into the world. They dox people as part of their intimidation operation. I mean, if Patriot Front members believe that they're right and they're just, why not attach their names to their beliefs and their contaminated goals? If they're so damn proud of themselves and their subversive goals, why hide behind those corny masks, fake social media accounts, stuffed into the darkness of U-Haul vans like sardines? The truth is, they're pissed that Capito was trying to hold them accountable and up to public scrutiny, far less than what they've done to their many victims. Patriot Front members are upset because their hideous, unpopular beliefs and behaviors have consequences. And they don't want their dirty little secrets exposed, and their true intentions that they hide behind this phony patriotic banner. They're Nazis. They privately discuss their shared anti-Semitic and racist views, as well as their admiration for figures like Hitler and Mussolini. They don't want you to see the Heil Hitlers at the end of their private meetings. Because Rousseau corrals followers into sticking to his plan for expressing fascist politics within more restrained messaging about reclaiming America. They don't want you to know that they groom underage boys and encourage them to lie to their parents, to break the law, and to skip school for Patriot Front activities. They don't want you to know the names of the members who are defacing public murals and breaking the law in other ways. They're suffering the consequences of their own abhorrent views and actions because all of the info that Capito retrieved has now made its way into Unicorn Riot, who has dumped all of it into internet land. I've posted links to the hours and hours of material that they don't want you to see. And according to their manifesto on their website, they say, when our pre-Columbian forefathers left their European homes, they found a common cause and a common identity as Americans. From the varied nations and cultures of Europe, a new nation was forged in the flames of conquest. To be an American is to be a descendant of conquerors, pioneers, visionaries, and explorers. This unique identity was given to us by our ancestors, and this national spirit remains firmly rooted in our blood. America needs a generation of brave men to fearlessly rise to face all threats to their collective interest. A generation steeled in their efforts to realize their grand vision of a new nation. This gathering of the faithful, the true inheritors of America, will urge our people onward. Houston, we have a problem with the gene pool.
Okay. For Mark. On left. Mark. All right, go back. For Mark. On left. Mark. There. There. Start over. Okay. On left. Mark. Go. On left. Mark. There you go.
Make sure you're hitting on the ground when you that clap is your left foot touching the ground.
And you guys listen to the booth. You can hear it. Once you get instead, you can hear it.
Oh, nice.
Laugh. 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 Laugh.
Oh, it's the Kipling poem.
Okay, let's do it again. What time?
Thank you, Mr. Capito. I can't thank you enough. May you be blessed and safe. It is audacity alone that compels them to call these videos combat drills. Don't laugh at these descendants of conquerors, pioneers, visionaries, and explorers. This is the generation of brave men fearlessly rising to face all threats to their collective interest, steeled in their effort to realize the grand vision of a new nation. Behold, the true inheritors of America. They had to stop several times to practice lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, but left-right is hard, okay? Not everyone learns that fast. Where's the goose-stepping? The one guy looks like he's trying to goose-step, but he keeps tripping. And that would be too on the nose, I guess. But I love the Nazi hijabs. They make quite a fashion statement. Imagine trying to convey the message that you are the supreme race, but you can't perform the simple task of marching on the spot. What a magnificent gene pool. And there goes my dream of facilitating Nazi rehabilitation through show tunes.
Hands on your hips, get on the push. You'll be surprised you're doing the pitch mistake. Voila! All right, cut!
This group has defaced civil rights and pride murals, monuments, and signs that promote equality all over the country. They've morphed their tactics in recent years, moving from just defacing the murals and placing stickers in the middle of the night to more confrontational public flash demonstrations, more bullying, more intimidation, following right-wing extremists around for drag events and at abortion clinics. You have an uptick in activity, and the activity is getting more emboldened and more violent. Since 2019, Patriot Front has been responsible for the vast majority of white supremacist propaganda distributed in the United States. Hiding behind anonymity has become an all too common feature of these people who lurk in the shadows of social media, hiding behind bogus accounts, fake names, and fake avatars, spewing hatred, sowing division, threatening and intimidating people. It's that anonymity that allows these malignant views to grow and to spread. The fact that Patriot Front's members' main complaint is that they've suffered for being associated with their own views is telling. The fact that their employers, relatives, and reasonable people want nothing to do with them should give them a lesson. But it certainly tells us all we need to know. Now, beating up Mr. Mural in Boston, Mr. Capito's data dump, the arrest in Idaho, which featured public mugshots and criminal charges, were a setback for Patriot Front, whose members wear masks and hide in the shadows, making it impossible to identify them committing crimes. The more light people can shine on groups like Patriot Front, the better for our country. And I'll let this delightful heckler end the video for us. He's fearless.
People's tireless accomplishments, but I cannot.
Wear Walmart
I would
khakis.
love to speak of the will of the European race that made
Get a life.
America, but I cannot. There is simply no time. If we do not stand firm in the way of tyranny now, there will be
No one likes
no
you.
memory of America to
Your mom
continue.
hates you.
No
Your
history
friends hate
to
you.
fight for.
You were the losers of your high
We have
school
gone
class.
out into this once
You're a bunch
great
of
country
incels.
and found its people wanting. Americans, real Americans,
You're sloppy.
are cast adrift
You're not even
and crushed
matching. You all
underfoot.
got different types of pants on.
The cities
Cargo
have
pants are out.
turned in languish in their squalor as their streets fill with human waste.
Reclaim your virginity.
Anarchist